All right, welcome back. Well, this with this month being November, a lot of us are turning to thankfulness and looking for things to be thankful for. Michelle Essery with Full Well Neurofeedback and Counseling joins us now to talk about some tips on how you can be thankful and really how you can instill this in your children. Michelle, thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Claire.
So one thing I noticed on your Instagram page about it was about giving thanks for family, friends, and pets, which most people, of course, think of those things to be thankful for. But I love that there was sort of a twist in the caption on this. Can you explain that?
Yeah, well, it's one of those
Yeah.
things where a lot of times family holidays can hold a little bit of maybe they can feel a little bit loaded, right? Because we might not be able to be around family, or we might not have family that we're able to be around in general, right? And so it can really bring up some of those feelings of loneliness, or what do we have? And so being grateful for the people in your life that you do have, right? Like you have people who are family that are chosen family, or animals, or the other things in your life that are really that are there, that are present, that you can be grateful for. And so it's a really good opportunity to reflect on, what do I have in my life, when those moments come up that you might feel like, what do I not have in my life? And so it's a nice reminder.
For people who really, like tradition, but may not be able to get home to be with family, and they're having to be with friends this year, any advice for them on how they can make that special and maybe not focus on what they don't have, obviously, but making the holiday or making a new tradition with their chosen family, their friends?
Do you know, it's really fun to bring in some of your traditions that you've grown up with and celebrate it with friends, right? Like, one of the things, and maybe this is a Christmas tradition, but something similar, right? Where my family, my mom's from Texas, so we would always have tamales after Christmas, tamales and chili on Christmas Eve. And so that's something that I can do even when I'm not with them. And I think we all have kind of things like that that we bring in the holidays, right? Like, what can I do with my friends? Well, I can do the things that matter to me, or you can create something new, right? Friendsgiving is a big deal. There's a lot of people who celebrate a Friendsgiving, right? There's
Yeah.
this idea that you can celebrate and create a new tradition that you can then carry on in your life.
I love that. And as parents, we're trying to obviously instill being thankful and grateful to our children. What are some tips on how we can do that?
Yeah, some of the really key things you can do is you can really intentionally look at the things that are good. It's really easy for us to focus on the negative things, because those are the things that tend to draw our attention. I mean, in the world, what are we always looking at? We're looking at the things that go wrong. And some of that
Mhm.
is because our nervous system is set up to watch for that. But if we take the time to really focus on the positive things, the things that are really good, and then if we take the time to really enjoy, absorb, savor, pay attention to those things, it actually, and this is a little, I lean into the brain geek a little bit, but it actually rewires your brain. Like, you can
Oh,
practice being grateful, and then your brain will more likely be grateful again. Does that make sense?
I
It's
love
kind of
that.
like, if you practice thinking about things that are negative, you're more likely to think of the negative. But if you practice both your hormones and your thinking, like your actual brain patterns, the neural pathways in your brain will make you feel happier more often.
I love that. I love that explanation there. And as we're doing, how often should we be trying to talk to our kids about this, or
Yeah.
obviously we do it. I feel like a lot more in November, but how often does it take for those pathways to become more positive like that? And how should we practice
Yeah.
that with or instill that in our children? I should say.
Well, this doesn't mean, ignoring the things that are hard, but it does mean focusing on the good. And we can do that day to day. We don't have to have special occasions to do that. The special occasions are the opportunities we can do that together as a family. But if we're doing this kind of day to day, when we see something that we're excited about, celebrating the thing we're excited about, when we are grateful, like we say prayers at bedtime, and we try and think of the things at the end of the day that we have been grateful for that day, like, thank you for this friend, or thank you for this opportunity we had today, the fact that we had food to eat today, things like that, that we can be
Mhm.
grateful for. We have a lot of things that we can be grateful for. And so if we take the time to kind of practice the small evidences of that, it becomes a habit. Then we start to notice all the small things that we're really happy about.
I love that. Well, very well said, Michelle. We appreciate you joining us today. Thank you so much.